Hello everyone, you're here with Phelan, Sade for short. Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, depending on wherever in the world you are. If you see the camera quality like this, just know that I'm using my grandma's laptop. It's quite old, so I'm gonna look like I've gone back in time a few years. Just because my phone has officially run out of space, so I probably won't really be able to record on there unless I'm making an extremely short video. Otherwise, I will continuously be frustrated recording videos 16 minutes long and then them getting deleted, telling me an error occurred. So to avoid that, I'm just using this, trying to get the message to you guys. So I'm doing my best here. But anyway, this is just basically a reading for divine feminines who are, and I just want to interject and say gender does not matter. You can be a man and be divine feminine because we all carry both energies. So it just depends on which energy you lean more towards, and that's what determines whether you're divine feminine or divine masculine. So anywho, this is a reading for divine feminines who are just experiencing challenges along their life's journey. And this could do with anything, love, just feeling directionless, like anything you're having a challenge with. But this is about this is healing messages, and lessons that you've been facing. So I'm just gonna get right into it. So the first card that came up was the Magician. I don't even know if there's a point in showing you, but I'm going to try to anyway. And if you can't read the fine print, if there's anything that stands out to me, I will read it to you. But the thing that did stand out to me on the card of the Magician was the number 1. Let me try to bring it a little closer, and maybe that'll be better. Not for sure, no guarantees, but I'm trying. So try not to flash too much side boob here also. But anyway, like I said, the number 1 stood out with the Magician card, and the Magician is basically about creation and manifestation. So the energy that you're currently in on your life's journey right now is manifestation and creation, and this has to do with a vast amount of things. So the next card that I got after that was Union, and what pointed out to me with this Union card is the fact that she has the alignment in her chakras. All right, the alignment in her chakras. So Spirit is telling you that right now you need to focus on manifesting this union with yourself. All right, you need to go within yourself. You need to come home to yourself and find balance within yourself. That is the main focus of your journey right now. And that's what you may be experiencing challenges with. And many things throw us off balance, including emotional pain, especially when we get caught up in it. And so Spirit is telling you to take your focus off of that, not ignoring the pain. You don't do that. That is the opposite. You don't ignore the pain. You acknowledge it. You allow it to flow within you, but you let it go. Okay, you don't hold on to it, and you don't stay stagnant in that energy. And right now, I think the issue with a few of us divine feminines is we're finding ourselves kind of, in a way, stuck in feelings of abandonment or feelings of lack, more of a lack mentality. The next card that I got after the Union was Higher Power. Oh God, this is terrible. But this is really a really pretty card when you can see it. But so I always see the Higher Power card when it comes out as this being a major thing for you, a major lesson, a major message for you. Something that you've been receiving, but you may have needed confirmation on. So if you've been receiving that this is something that you've been needing to do, if you've been feeling a bit off, or if you just feel like, okay, I'm sad or I'm hurting right now, but I know you're receiving messages that are kind of conflicting with the way you feel. So you may be receiving that a new beginning is coming, because that new life and new beginning has been coming through a lot in my readings. and you may be receiving signs and synchronicities. That could be numbers, just things happening, things people are saying that just like match up with the way you've been feeling. Anything that has to do with signs to you. This has been coming to you, and just messages that you've been receiving within, dreams you've been having, and you're doubting it right now. You're doubting these things, and Spirit is guiding you not to do that. You know, don't stay so focused on the physical, because we've been conditioned to, when it comes to trust or what we believe in, we've been conditioned to solely focus on what's in front of us, what we can touch, what we can see, you know, solely focus on what our senses can back up, pretty much. But the part of your lesson, part of your journey right now is the opposite of that. It's touching on faith, touching on, because you can't pull faith from out of you and show someone faith. Like, okay, here's my faith. You know, you can't show someone the signs and synchronicities that you've been having. You can tell them about it, but because they are your signs and the messages that you're receiving from Spirit, these are confirmations for you. These are not confirmations for you to prove them to someone else, because that other person is likely not going to understand, and whatever they tell you is going to end up making you question yourself even more, which is going to throw you out of alignment. And your purpose right now is to get into alignment. Your message right now is to get into alignment in order for you to heal and properly move forward, move more in flow along your journey. The next two cards that I got after that were Awareness, which is the Chariot, and Beyond Illusion, which is, I always get stuck on that. I believe it's Judgment. That's Judgment. And what I noticed about these two cards, there's a little Buddha in there. But you see the shape of the third eye on here. And then butterflies are about transition. They're about growth, change. And then the shape of this, the split here in the veil, is kind of the same shape as the third eye here. And this says Awareness, but as soon as this card came out, I got Enlightenment. Excuse me. And this is the first time I'm pointing out the Buddha actually within the middle. So I believe in Buddhist religion, enlightenment is a big thing. So I didn't even make that tie before I started recording this. So this is all coming together as it should. You know, so Spirit is really emphasizing to you, you're on a path towards enlightenment, towards gaining this clarity that you desire, towards gaining this new life, this abundance, these new beginnings in your physical world. You know, you're on a journey towards that thing, these things, but you can't just jump to that. You know, your desires, your passions, like everything that you've been dreaming of, you know, including in your love life. And I feel like a lot of this reading does have to do with a possible connection, but this first row here that I've pulled for you really has to do with yourself. It really has to do with you and the message that you're receiving. The majority of this reading has to do with you, actually. But it just touches on possible challenges that you're experiencing, maybe within a connection. But, what's it called? Yeah. So, like I said, you just need to trust in the messages that you're receiving and keep going along this journey with no resistance, no control, trying to control. And like I said, see the destination, or just jump to the destination. We can't skip over. In order to get there and be properly prepared for what's waiting for us, the beauty that's waiting for us, the success that's waiting for us, we have to learn lessons. We have to learn how to get in alignment. We have to learn how to be balanced in order to make balanced decisions, in order to have proper discernment in certain situations, in order to know how to react in certain situations and respond to certain situations, in order to know how to get into alignment when we allow our emotions or our ego, the illusions that we build that we allow our fears to build within our minds. We have to know how to get back into alignment when those situations come about, because life happens, you know. So, and the reason why I say put quotes around the word success is because my perspective of success is not just money. It's not just about money. It's bigger than that. Much bigger than that. Money, yes, has to do with it. Stability in your finances definitely has to do with it. But success also has to do with your happiness. The way you see yourself. The way you love yourself. Your self-worth. Your self-esteem. You knowing yourself. It's about you. Without that, there is no success. There is money, but that's, I'm going to just use a little example. Well, not a little example. It's actually a significant example. When you hear about celebrities committing suicide, but they have all the money in the world, they have all this fame, all this fortune, right? It's like, why would somebody do that, right? The cliche question or the basic question is like, oh, why would somebody do that? The reason why is because they didn't feel at home within themselves a lot of the time. They felt like they were alone a lot of the time. Like there was no one to understand what the situation that they were in or the experiences that they were having. I'm not talking about medical illnesses when it comes to that. I'm just talking about depression that we all experience at some point where we do want things to just stop. We just want it to end. It's not necessarily that we want to die, but we just want to get away from it all. We want everything to just stop for a second. We want the world to just stop, And sometimes that's where the suicidal thoughts come in. And I'm talking from experience. That was just a little sharing from me. But on the next row, the first card we got in the second row was the Seven of Swords. All right. This is about, Seven of Swords is not only about deception and deception meaning lies or someone lying to you, keeping things from you, hiding from you. This also has to do with illusions that you're telling yourself, stories that you're telling yourself when you're not able to see past what you physically see. So what you see in front of you is causing you to think a certain way, have a certain perspective, and that goes along with the conditioning that you either grew up with or grew around, and that has to do with friends, family, a certain perspective that you see on social media, you constantly focusing on that. So you start to build illusions, your fears, what you're afraid of, things you don't want to happen, but you're so hyper-focused on it, you're so worried about it happening, you start to create illusions like, oh my God, well, this is just how my life is. Like, this is just how my story is, this is what I grew up around. This is what keeps happening to me over and over, but those are cycles. And in those cycles, like, yes, these cycles are repeating themselves in different ways, like slightly different ways, but you're meant to pick up on the similarities in order for you to change your actions, to change your perspective, the way you're seeing it, and to change the way you're going to respond to it so that you can break this cycle. And this guidance that spirit is telling you to do, going within yourself and coming into union with yourself, balancing yourself, seeing past the physical, that is a part of breaking this illusion, seeing past this illusion, the stories that you're telling yourself. The next card that we got after the Seven of Swords was the Queen of Wands. And in this deck in particular, which is the Dreams of Gaia Tarot, this Queen of Wands is about your sexuality, your sensuality, warmth, but it's also about not doubting what you know, not doubting your intuition. And that's what Spirit's been talking about in that first row so far. So not only is it about not doubting your intuition, but when it comes to sexuality and sensuality, you may feel like that's where your power lied. That's where your power lie, right? That's where your power comes from, but that's not true. That is a part of you. Your sensuality is a part of you, is a part of your self-expression, expressing your love or your intimacy with someone, wanting to share that, wanting to express that physically, and that is okay. But you may have been telling yourself the story of, okay, this is where my power is, or this is all that I can offer someone. You are so much more than that. You offer so much more than that. And that is, knowing that is a part of your purpose so that you can fulfill that more. Okay? Getting into your power is realizing that. Sensuality is a part of your power, but it is not your power. That is not where your power stems from. Okay? And the next card that we got was Serendipity. Serendipity is about good luck, good fortune, but it's also about opportunities, opportunities aligning for you in a magical way, in a way that you can't explain. So with this card, I'm going to say the cards that we get after that before I line everything up. After Serendipity, we've got the Two of Cups, the Seven of Swords again, and Trust. Alright, sorry, it says Trust on the bottom. But yeah. So, like I said, now in this case with the Seven of Swords coming up again in this same row, it goes along with the illusions you're telling yourself, but it also is telling you to see beyond these illusions. Move my finger. See beyond these illusions. And you see he's like, and the reason why I say it like that, like see beyond these illusions, is because you see how he's just looking just beyond this mask. You know, I know he looks sly, but that's what I got when I pulled this card, seeing beyond. And then I just now made the correlation with this beyond illusion. So, like I said, it's all lining up. It's all coming together. These are the messages. These are the signs that Spirit has been trying to get you to see. Is to shift your focus from the problem, shift your focus from the issue to the bigger picture, to the reason why all of these things happen. And to get out of the perspective that, oh, I can only learn things from pain, or, you know, Spirit wants me to constantly be in pain, you know, so pain this and pain that. It's like, no, it's not about the pain. It's about you learning from that pain. It's like, it's not always going to be that way. Things are not going to end in pain for you. It doesn't end in pain. Things are not end in pain for you. It's just, it had to happen this way. It had to happen a certain way for you in order for you to learn exactly what you needed to in the perfect way, so that you can be prepared for this new life, this new beginning. You are truly meant to expand from where you have been for the longest time. You're breaking ancestral cycles. You're not only your own cycles that you've been seeing, you're breaking cycles that you weren't aware of. You're breaking ancestral cycles, familial cycles, all right, family cycles. That's what familial is. But yeah, and this Two of Cups is about, again, coming into union with yourself, bringing things together, getting into balance, all right, and things coming together in this magical sort of way. There was another thing with Serendipity that pointed out, and I wanted to say it. Now, whenever I always say this in my readings, I don't address all of these. Every deck comes with a book, a reference book, and I do not address all of them. There are a lot of them that look brand spanking new that I have not touched, because when I looked at them, not much in them resonated. It's not that they were bad or anything, just not much in them resonated with me, so I kind of felt like I was going to have to just go based off of the messages I received when I pulled the card. But anyway, where is it? 68. Okay. First thing is opportunities allied with readiness. That I've been talking about. Okay. Opportunities allied with readiness. Things lining up. A magical alignment of events. Like I said, luck and good fortune. Also, the awareness of synchronicity. So, like I said, everything's coming together for you, feminines, alright? Allow yourself to heal. Allow yourself to flow in this. If you feel pain, if you wake up feeling heavy one day, sit in that for a second. Don't just up and try to distract yourself with something. Sit in that for a second. Be still, okay? Meditate. Go into meditation and go within yourself to see what it is. What is it exactly? How did this heaviness start? Alright? And how can I get into alignment? And this is a journey, okay? The next card that I got in the next row, the first card that I got in the next row was the Two of Pentacles. And the Two of Pentacles is about going back and forth, having too many things going on at once. But actually, with this row in particular, I got a certain message, and this is not going to resonate with everyone. This is actually going to only be for a select few of feminines. So take it as it resonates. But with this one in particular, I got legal issues, possibly, that may have to do with children. So you may be in a custody battle right now with your children or a child, and you're kind of going back and forth with yourself on how this is going to turn out. You may be frantic about it, but I'm just getting from spirit not to worry yourself about it. It's going to turn out how it should, okay? If that's the situation for you. Another story I'm getting with this that could possibly be for you when it comes to this row, and I'm going to show you the cards in a second, is the fact that you want a child. And you're kind of going back and forth with yourself on how you're going to go about having this child. And if this has to do with another person, you're trying to decide whether you're going to settle for someone and just try to hurry up and fulfill this desire that you have for children, or whether you're going to stick to this path and try to persevere and see how things end up, and see if a child is just naturally going to come out of this, come from this connection that you may be sharing with someone. And if you don't have a particular person and you're wanting to hurry up and get, have a child, Spirit is guiding you to harmonize your mind and your heart. This is the Ten of Cups, but it says harmony here. Balance your mind and your heart. You see this? Here and here. There needs to be balance between your mind and your heart before you try to make any decision at all. Especially when it comes to children. Don't just hurry up and try to have a child just for the sake of having one. I know you really want one, and you have that desire for a reason. So you're gonna have the child that you want, but you want to have it in flow. You don't want to try to take control or be in resistance of the journey that Spirit has you on, because you won't feel completely fulfilled. Alright, if that makes sense. You won't feel that complete fulfillment. You won't be able to enjoy every aspect. You'll be able to enjoy your child, but it's still going to feel like something's missing. It's still going to feel like something is awry, like something is not right. So take your time. Allow yourself to get into balance. Okay? Allow yourself to come into union with yourself. Okay? And see past these illusions that you've built for yourself, all right? To heal. Allow yourself to heal. And this is the Justice card, but it also says breakthrough. That's why I said the situation is going to turn out how you want it if it does have to do with legal issues. So I'm going to show you this whole row again so you can understand maybe why I got this conclusion, which is the Two of Pentacles, Mother, and you see she's pregnant. She's with child right now. The Tribe, and this is a mother giraffe with her child, the baby giraffe there. And the tribe does have to do with family. I showed you harmony, and then I showed you breakthrough, which is the Justice. And the harmony is Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups also has to do with fulfillment in love and that family life. It's the feeling of everything coming together, just that ultimate fulfillment, that abundance, that abundant in everything, feeling abundant in everything. You want that, but your mind and your heart have to come together so you can make sound decisions, all right? And just be in flow. Before making any decision, just be in flow with the journey, because you don't know, Spirit may step in and make a decision for you that you've been going back and forth about, or you may receive such strong guidance. That decision, if you wait, and just take your time, Spirit will say, okay, now it's time to do this. Go ahead, But it's about being in flow. And this last row we have here, the first card I got for the last row was Awakening. And this is the Hanged Man. And this card is about seeing things from a different perspective. Okay. Breaking these illusions. Breaking this illusion. Seven of Swords. Getting out of this illusion. Seeing beyond the illusion. Okay. So, and I don't know if you see that 7 down there. That's 7 of Swords. These are both 7 of Swords. So, you are on a journey towards awakening. And speaking of journey, the next card I got after awakening, the Hanged Man, is journey. Okay? You are on a significant journey. You are on the right path. You made no mistakes. You are exactly where you're meant to be. Okay? Stop questioning your intuition. Don't second guess yourself. This card, this Queen of Wands, don't second guess yourself. Alright? So after awakening and journey, I got time for a nap. Spending time in meditation. Spending time with yourself. Getting to know yourself. Awakening to yourself. Getting into alignment with yourself. Rest is necessary in order to get into alignment. Okay? And then the last 2 cards I got were the Queen of Swords and the 2 of Pentacles again. But the 2 of Pentacles in this last line, in this case, says moment to moment. And the Queen of Swords in this last line, to me, is about broadening your perspective and just taking things one step at a time. Like it says, moment to moment. You see he's hopping one rock to another, one step at a time. Taking time with yourself. Taking it easy. This time for a nap. I'll read it to you. Just so you know how everything is lining up. Where is it? Boom. There we go. Rest, rejuvenation, and renewal. Temporary non-action. I'm going to stop there because this awakening card, this Hanged Man, is about a temporary standstill. If you have this deck, you will see. It says, looking at things from a different perspective, a temporary standstill. It's important to be yourself. So it's just a confirmation saying it may seem like nothing's happening for you. It may seem like you're going crazy. Like it may seem like your second guessing is just your ego. That's your fear. It's what you're afraid of. Whatever signs that you're receiving. And even the fact that, I'll get to that, but the signs that you're receiving, you have to trust that. You have to have trust in that. We have the trust card. You have to have trust in these signs. You have to have trust in yourself. You gotta trust yourself. Everything starts with you. I say that all the time. Everything starts with you. Alright? And allowing dreams to arise. That's the last thing that the time for a nap says. Allowing dreams to come to fruition. The first card we got, very, very first card we got was the Magician, creation. Alright? And just, like I said, taking things one step at a time. Oh yeah. And the last thing I'm going to mention, if this does have to do with a connection, you've been having issues in a connection, soul love connection. I got 2 cards for coming together and connecting. This union, I was gonna ignore it because it's about healing, it's about you, but don't want to ignore, like, whenever I get 2 of the same thing, I gotta say, I basically said the meaning of, like, broken down each meaning of all the cards, all the necessary meanings. But we have union here. Really wish you could see that clearly. And we have 2 of Cups, which is also a card for union, but it's also about balanced communication. Balanced communication that kind of flows smoother. You and the other person are able to feel more yourselves and remove this mask and be genuine about either the way you feel or just about the way things happened. You know, however they happened. Honest about what's happened. Be honest about what's happened and what you didn't know about. You know, And that's another thing Spirit wants you to trust in, is the unknowing, or the not knowing, the non-clarity. Like the the fact that you're in the moon's energy, you can't see everything. Like I said, you're not going to be able to see everything. You know, you're not meant to see everything right now. Everything is happening exactly how it should. Even I'm coming to terms with that. I'm a divine feminine. So everything is happening exactly as it should, divine feminines, okay? Everything is coming together exactly as it should, but we've got to come into alignment and come into union with ourselves. We've got to get into this space of love with ourselves, true love with ourselves, loving every part of ourselves from the inside, loving that light inside, all right? So anyway, I love you all. I hope you have a great rest of the night. I'm going to close the reading here. Let me know if this resonated with you in any specific way. You guys have a great rest of the day, morning, night, all right? And sweet dreams. And if any significance pops up in your dreams, write them down. Write them down. Or any vivid dreams come about. But anyway, you have a great rest of the night. And yeah.